Welcome to the Battle of Psychics. More than 2 months ago, 10 people with paranormal abilities challenged the skeptics and entered the fight for the title of Best Psychic. Now there are 4 of them left, and today is the battle for the final.
Suiskander, a psychic from Kazakhstan, received the gift of clairvoyance after the clinical death of Victoria Zeleznova. Scandinavian magician sees the past and future of any person. Ibragini Laf, a psychic for 3 years. Mehdi lived in the mountains as a hermit, where he discovered supernatural abilities. Alexei Fats, Zaporozhye sorcerer, studied from shamans. Today we will find out the names of the 3 finalists who will fight for the title of Best Psychic. Weapons in the hands of psychics. Who did it belong to before?
A maniac.
Can psychics identify the killer? I point this person to clairvoyant looking for a missing person.
The final battle is exactly a week away. We are increasingly complicating our tasks. Now psychics will encounter really dangerous objects with very strong energy. They will get real combat weapons.
Central Museum of Russia. Here every exhibit is an event in the criminal history of the country. We chose 3 completely different samples of weapons. Whether a psychic will be able to see who owned the weapon, as well as where, when, and under what circumstances it was used by external signs, an ordinary person will not be able to answer any of the questions posed, but a clairvoyant. The purity of the tests will be observed by our constant skeptic magician, Sergei Safronov.
I think that weapons, like any object, have their own energy. But tell us specifically about the events in which this weapon took part and the person to whom this weapon belonged will be very difficult.
So we'll give them Boris Yeltsin's personal gun. The gun from which Mikhail Gorbachev was fired, a homemade knife. In the Koptina monastery, they killed 3 monks. Psychics know nothing about weapons. All information is only available to museum staff. They will tell the truth.
Because of my materialistic upbringing, it is difficult for me to admit that this can be considered at all.
Victoria Zeleznova will touch the weapon.
Victoria!
Yes.
Now I will ask you to tell about this weapon, its fate, to whom it belonged.
Who did it belong to? Yes.
It's interesting, she just feels it as if she wants to buy it.
This gun was used to assassinate Mikhail Gorbachev during a festive demonstration on Red Square in 1990.
I think someone died because of this weapon, but it could be either suicide or something. Do you know? I don't see any intention behind it.
But that was exactly the intention.
Quite the opposite, he says. Death was just being planned. Yes, planning murders, she says, on the contrary.
The assassination attempt on Gorbachev failed. The bullet passed by, and if the shot turned out to be accurate, the whole history of the country could go to a friend.
I feel someone was punished.
Terrorist Alexander Shmonov did not go to prison. He had forced treatment in a psychiatric hospital.
Insane. Well, not dangerous to society, and upon completion of treatment, he was kind of released.
Before the assassination attempt, Alexander was an avid hunter and psychic Iskander. I saw him with a weapon in the forest.
Tall spruce trees, well, for some reason they showed me this, probably poaching.
The Slavic sorcerer Alexei Fat also saw a hunter at work. First foxes, squirrels go for it, then people became...
But damn, hunting.
By the way, did
Hunt.
But was the shot from that gun at a person? So far, none of the clairvoyants have felt it.
You're shooting from such a long distance.
They are absolutely right, indeed. The distance to the tribune of the mausoleum was 50 minutes. The Iranian clairvoyant managed to get closest to the solution, but to see that this gun was aimed. One person of the state. None of the psychics ever managed to... What clairvoyants can tell about a decent gun of Boris Yeltsin? What psychics will feel while holding it in their hands?
That means no one has ever shot at anyone, never killed anyone. It doesn't belong to a criminal group.
Well, in general, there is some silence about this gun. Judging by this silence, there may be the gun isn't even... The gun belonged. Politics structures. Well, politics person appeared. Probably a serious reformer.
A man. Gray. Okay.
What will the clairvoyant Sulu Iskander say about Boris Yeltsin's personal weapon?
I don't feel the shot. I feel you holding him, squeezing him. Maybe he was hit there or something. Well, I don't feel the shot as such.
Related to a woman. Maybe a woman was killed.
It was in coffee grounds.
It was committed as an assassination attempt. I'm sure someone was killed with that gun.
Oh, Mom.
Okay, Victoria, please tell me about this weapon, its fate, who it belonged to.
It's human. Certainly he who possesses power is dead, apparently. Practically with weapons in hand.
Yes, this is nonsense, all nonsense.
In fact, with this knife, the fanatic Satanist Svetsky killed 3 monks. A terrible crime was committed in the monastery of Opton on the night of Easter.
Maniac, 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 maniac walks like he does. His head is like this. This is how a sick person happens. This is something obsessive.
The victims could have been much more. After the procession, the people had not yet separated, but only 3 people came face to face with the murderer.
This feels like at least 34. This is what the subject could...
Yes.
The Easter service ended around 06:00, and the 3 monks went to the monastery bell tower. I have some sounds. There is...
Not
modern music.
Not modern, yes.
When bells...
Was more than one person killed? A lot of blood. This ritual murder was committed on Easter in 93. Can a Muslim Mayday feel the death of Orthodox monks?
I didn't see anyone killed with that knife.
It feels like the
Ritual. The fact that the crime was ritual, there is no doubt Satan made the appropriate inscription on the murder weapon. But he doesn't see her now. Before the test, the inscription was pasted.
feel something satanic. I see a man with a beard who was killed.
Well, they had beards, yes, that's right.
You may be a priest. Black. Well, this man who killed, he had problems. He is mentally ill.
There was no mistake anywhere. Even in this, according to the conclusion of the medical commission, the murderer Nikolai Averin was recognized as mentally insane.
You said a lot of interesting and accurate information.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye. The best psychic on this upbringing, I believe, was because what he said today is a lot confirmed.
Mehdi Extrasensov from Iran was undoubtedly stronger than his rivals in this challenge, but no one can say for sure that he will make the final three. Everything will be resolved at the end of this program. The battle continues.
6 suspects, one of whom committed murder. On whom is mortal sin?
It's hard to call an innocent man a murderer.
The missing plane is still unknown about the fate of its passengers. Maybe they saved... Can psychics find people on another continent?
Tropical climate, there is Africa.
a person has ever committed the mortal sin of murder, then a terrible seal remains on his fate forever. This can be carefully hidden from others. No one can ever guess this. But can this be hidden from psychics? This is what we will try to check in our next test.
Clairvoyant will see these 6 suspects. 5 of these women have never broke the law, and only one has blood on their hands. She killed a man and was punished for it. Will the psychics be able to find the killer of all the women? We put on dark glasses, and now psychics won't even be able to look into the eyes of suspects. So which of these 6 is the killer? And you can determine it just by your eyes. If you make the right choice, you have a very strong intuition. Before the clairvoyants begin this test, ordinary people will try to find the murderer among the suspects. They assess the appearance of these women, try to see through the opaque glasses. People without psychic abilities were never able to give the right answer, and the 2 of them refused to look for the killer at all, our clairvoyants. Today, decided to watch the actress, TV presenter Vera Sotnikova.
I have never communicated with psychics before, and the fact that such abilities exist, I don't just believe, I really believe.
So it can electrosenses, without coming into contact with suspects and without seeing their eyes, feel the killer's energy.
Hello, hello.
Name is Vera in that room. 6 suspects. Among them, 1 criminal committed the grave sin of murder. They have black glasses. Don't ask me to take off these glasses. I won't say you the name. Follow me. Frank, please come in. This is number 5 according to you. I will ask you girls to remove your glasses, all those who are innocent.
Made mistake in this woman, the murderer, at her request. We cannot name her throughout the country. She was convicted of murdering her own husband and spent 5 years of her life behind bars.
Almost 10 years ago. By the will of fate, I was killed human. Not in the sense that took and killed, but a murder happened, and it happened at my hands.
It happened early in the morning. A banal quarrel suddenly turned into a fight. The 23-year-old girl herself did not notice how she had a knife in her hands.
No, I didn't want to. I didn't expect it. I just hurt him once. It was 2 centimeters. I got hit.
The doctors were late. A man died of blood loss in front of his wife and his 7-month-old baby.
Well, that's how it happened. I was surprised. You are wrong now.
He could not sense the criminal among these 6 women, but whether he now knows who committed the murder can tell about the details of this tragedy.
A woman and a small child and a desperate man. She took a knife and was hit men.
He threatened. I defended myself.
This woman is sure she acted in self-defense, but it couldn't be proven. She was convicted of premeditated murder.
Thank you.
We'll be able to see accidental blood on the blade and kitchen knife. Slavic sorcerer Alexei Fat. Will he feel which of the 6 suspected murderers?
Are you suggesting that the murder was committed with a knife?
You know, I never know why I choose certain subjects for tests. Today, I automatically took a knife. This person to number 1.
Take off your glasses. Number 3.
I can find out where the soul of my deceased is.
It cannot be done right now, but there is a definite action when it is done. Indeed, the soul connects, and I have done so more than once. We don't know if Alexei Fat can contact the soul of the deceased man, but he failed this test. Too innocent inside, as if she apparently already looked deeply repentant. But the unexpected appearance of a knife in the hands of a psychic greatly shocked all the participants of Experiment 1.
I felt that he took it because I really had the help of a knife. Well, maybe it's still difficult because it's been 10 years.
Can the clairvoyant Sulu Iskander look into our heroine's past and feel the sin of murder?
I show and I call number 5. All, it stood like glass, absolutely nothing energy, nothing, as you stood and continue standing, please.
Because
There is such competition now.
This is really a difficult test for psychics. So far, none of the clairvoyants could feel the killer. Black glasses don't even allow the suspect's eyes to see through. Scandinavian magician psychic Victoria used their favorite tarot card.
This falls on number 3. I'll try to scan again now.
Here I came to number 3. I pulled out the card of a fair trial and the death. Well, it seems like it's not intentional. Unintentional. Think number 3.
you're right.
I'm glad I didn't offend anyone. It's very difficult to call an innocent person a murderer. It's impossible to say a girl is a murderer. When I first saw this, I thought, did they really bring us murderers? No. Something unintentional. Something when a person is not aware of themselves. So it was very hard.
There was a man.
And the man is older.
You had a connection with him, lover?
You were convicted after that, weren't you? Yes, but I see that you believe that all this was unfair. And when a person in the heart of his soul believes that, I always believe because it is the truth. It is the only truth that exists.
No one will now prove that this murder was unintentional. But it is very important for this woman that the parents of the deceased husband, their little son, understand her and forgive her that fateful morning she tried with all her might to save her loved one.
Indirect heart massage. The medical examiner calmed me down, said that I'm doing everything right, but no one comes alive from such an injury.
You had to go through it in terms of karma. You were aligned. You cleared your karma. That's how it was supposed to happen. You've been through this. It's all over.
Where did he?
He's in the sky. He's in the sky, but he's good there. He's got the sun there.
I dreamed many times. Even on the day he was buried, I dreamed of him. He said goodbye, asked forgiveness, said that everything will be fine, sorry.
She had to go through this one. That is, this was on her from above.
Psychics rehabilitated me a little in the eyes of those people who believed that this crime was intentional. I don't even regret that I served 5 years just for those words.
There is no need to look back.
I want everyone who believes otherwise to understand that I am not guilty. His parents, his friends.
That's it? Well, you've already asked for forgiveness many times, Bunny. But you still have to move on, and you have to be happy, because that's how we offend the Lord God.
I want to remind you that at the end of this program, you will recognize the 3 psychics who will enter the final of our battle. Like you, I don't know the names of the finalists, but everything will be decided very soon. And so, a decisive battle lies ahead.
10 years ago, a plane belonging to a Moldovan airline suddenly disappeared in Africa.
I wanted us to know if my husband or not, right?
The photo answers. I can't confirm his well-being.
A Russian-speaking crew, passengers from Lebanon, and a large shipment of diamonds were aboard the plane.
I don't see any disasters, commercial cases, most likely because it's related to business with money.
Watch the battle of psychics. I'm Mikhail Porechenkov. Now we have 4 strongest psychics fighting, and only 3 of them will make it to the finals. Which of them will be superfluous will show the last most difficult test.
It all started with a letter that was attached to these photos. The wife, children, parents, and close members of the crew of AN-72 aircraft belonging to the Moldovan airline Rheinam sent us these photos. On December 23, 1997, the plane was scheduled to fly from South Africa to Moldova. 15 minutes after takeoff, it vanished.
After takeoff, 15 minutes later, they reported that we were in order on board. Well, we are leaving some echelon to the dispatcher and more through communications.
There were a total of 6 crew members and 5 passengers on board the aircraft. Despite searching all airports, the plane did not land at any of them, and radar did not detect any wreckage. The plane was nowhere to be found.
Well, now there's nowhere to write. They were officially declared dead after 3 years. It feels from the bottom of my heart there is still hope that they are alive.
For 10 years, this woman is neither a wife nor a widow. Her husband is the ship's commander, Pavel Gorchinsky. Like all the teams, was missing together by plane, but Lucia, along with 2 children, and the rest of the wives of the crew members of the missing AN-72 do not lose hope. They wait for their husbands alive.
Mom, all children awaited a response to the query, affirming a survival.
Lucy Gorchinskaya decided to turn to psychics for the first time. To do this, a woman came from Chisinau to Moscow on a special train, bringing her husband's personal belongings and photos. Anything that can help search for the missing plane. Professor criminologist Mikhail Vinogradov will conduct this test, and Victoria Zheleznova will be the first to pass it.
Good.
Good afternoon, please have a seat. Some time ago, a close person went missing. What can you tell us about that? Specifically when, where, and who. If you need any help, there are photos available.
Yes, the picture is very good.
His personal belongings, if necessary.
It's winter, birth of Aries Capricorn. This is not you. What's wrong now? Sorry, I'll say it directly. I don't see him alive. I see that he has some kind of connection to water. I see water. Regarding the water, did you want to know more details?
Victoria, we would like to know everything you can tell us. Please share any information you have without asking us.
I believe he might have drowned. It hurt to tell you this, and I know you're hoping at the very end there wasn't enough air.
Was he swimming or fishing during the incident?
I would say that this one intends a deliberate attempt on life, but I can't tell you the reason. I don't see the reason yet. That is, it's not robbery. I don't think it's even robbery.
That's all you can say for now.
Yes.
All right, I'll just tell you that your conclusion was incorrect. The information we have officially does not coincide with what you told us.
Alas, Victor Zelezny failed the test. She did not see that the man in the photo was a pilot and did not say anything about the fact that the plane disappeared in Africa. However, the clairvoyant herself does not believe that she was mistaken.
Well, I have faith in what I observed because the visible picture doesn't simply appear out of nowhere. So, when I asked about the death, I immediately saw the water and was informed that the death was related to the water supply, which is the stance I uphold. Regardless of any other version, I won't accept one.
Regrettably, that individual is indeed not among the living.
Not alive.
There are no living things. This is related to water and the sea. There is a sense of plunge into the depths. I firmly believe that the man is there.
Why is it that two psychics are convinced that Gorshinsky drowned a sorcerer? Alexei Fat requested a map to seek out the site of this enigmatic death. Astonishingly, he instantly indicated the correct direction.
That is to this location. Hence, the direction here could point to either America or Africa. Africa appears to be closer. When viewed from above, as it always presents the perspective from above, it is possible that the man observed it from an aerial view. Maybe he was a pilot? If this perspective is aerial, and if the individual was a pilot who encountered a catastrophe, then it is conceivable that it occurred over the ocean. I believe they actually took their...
This idea of a sea crash was there from the beginning.
The space satellites said that there was very good weather at the time, and the satellites did not record any disaster.
Subsequently, they would have had to document it on land.
They record at sea.
I understand. They didn't find her, did they?
Of course.
If it were on land, modern satellites would dig it up anywhere. And if they didn't find on land, then it's on land.
The airplane piloted by Pavel Gorshinsky operated under contract in Africa. It was his crew that was dispatched there as one of the most seasoned among all air crews in Moldovan Airlines.
Conditions in Africa. Flights that there is nothing for the weak to do there. An aircraft is simply developing there when the crew is weak, and this crew has already been worked out. They understood with half a glance, not even half a word. They looked at each other, already understanding what decisions should be made in this situation.
Pilots and CIS countries willingly flew to Africa to earn money, despite the dangerous flight conditions. Poorly maintained runways, lack of adequate soil, and at times even a failure to adhere to fundamental safety standards.
If you start to resist or refuse to fly, they present you with a contract which stipulates that you must comply, even if it means being forced to fly with an overloaded aircraft. As a result, sometimes this happened, and it is for this reason that planes crash there, since the client exerts authority.
Could it possibly be that Gorshinsky's plane went down over the sea, causing radars to miss its wreckage?
This was also discussed 10 years ago. If he had fallen, some remains of the plane would still have floated from space, or from the plane was noticed something, but nothing was found.
There is no point in looking for this person because he is really in the sea. What they told her was that they didn't detect anything. It's just that it's like the plane is not on the ground, it's underwater.
We do not know whether the missing Ang-72 may be underwater, but one way or another, Alexeyev determined that Pavel was a pilot and that the tragedy happened in Africa. Unlike Iranian psychics, who are greatly confused in testimony.
This person will work in...
A police officer or a driver?
Where?
Like
Russian is spoken by order.
Well, it was ordered.
Where?
This is located 80 kilometers away.
Where do you live?
Unfortunately, you were completely mistaken. He is neither a driver nor a policeman. His specialty is entirely different. Additionally, he disappeared a little further from home than you initially mentioned.
After frustrating them wildly, the test began the last psychic, a clairvoyant from Kazakhstan. Sulu Iskander, could she possibly elaborate more than the others?
Additionally, you may inquire about patronymic as Vasilievich's. The photograph appears to answer. It's to say that he is alive in a healthy state.
Good muscle tone, lack of oxygen, is observed in the body. It feels like the constant pressure of the airflow. It presses strongly, like riding in an elevator. This is how the feeling happens. A little pressing. Well, like an astronaut or a dreamer.
Perhaps something linked to the cosmos, possibly aviation. Aviation is related because he transported, probably yes, he transported. Well, if territorially, I can't determine, but the only thing I can describe the landscape there is something like this. The sun is warm, and for some reason the palm tree has come out.
Please tell me, you have one map of Russia and one of the world?
Well,
Somewhere. Tropical climates, Africa. South Africa includes Angola and Namibia. Here, 3 fingers pause, and here is the final stop.
Ronin Airlines Flight 72 was scheduled to fly from South Africa to Chisinau with a stopover in Namibia. However, as a result of searches, it was established the plane landed at the airport of Andul, where it dropped off passengers, refueled, and took off. It turned out that when leaving Angola, there were 5 Lebanese passengers on board, their hand luggage and some insured diamonds.
The airplane carrying the missing Pavel didn't encounter any accident or crash and didn't land anywhere. He was put on one of the clandestine or criminal small airfields in order to remove cargo from him. It had to be diamonds.
The diamonds were insured, or these passengers was one traitor, or someone on Earth already knew them. They were forcibly imprisoned somewhere. Their diamonds were taken away. The crew was already driven somewhere.
They were able to disassemble the plane into parts so that it wasn't spotted anywhere from the air, implying they could have just leave it there in the jungle because such a plane cannot be seen from a satellite in the jungle.
What might have happened to the people on board the plane is anyone's guess.
Crews either enslaved somewhere or taken away?
Individuals like these are often utilized as makeshift workers.
Is it possible that Captain Pavel Gorchinsky and other members of the missing crew are still alive?
4 years since this incident, I have felt it. The photo gives a warm impression. It's not a cold photograph. He was sought, and he was the person who was looking for him here. Well, he arrived, did his business, and left.
We'll find out what cases.
He has some commercial affairs of his own here, most likely because it is connected with business with money he was shown.
The head of the airline, Wren, personally engaged in the search for the missing AN-72. Perhaps because Van Gaal's plane arrived illegally, he did not have permission to fly over Dongle territory.
The fact that they were forced, they probably didn't want to carry out this flight because there are witnesses who met our crew before the last flight. The crew was very upset, depressed. That is, they were forced to do something that's something against their will.
The chief of the airline was against the noise surrounding the whole story, and according to the wives of the crew members. Threatened them?
Well, when went missing, we immediately wanted to raise an alarm and contact all authorities. However, the boss told us that if we did, he couldn't promise our husbands would return home alive.
Who is this? What person, boss?
From the airline, Renan Grossel Andreevich.
I think that this gentleman with a strange last name who now lives in Chisinau is the owner of the company. He knew this situation in advance, but is very afraid to open them because if he tells the truth, not only will his business be finished, he might have something to do with the disappearance.
He may have something to do with it, but I have the feeling that he was forbidden to say something. I have this feeling because here the information overlaps thematically, but inside I feel that he has something, he might know something. So I also think I say we can go together. If there is such a possibility without cameras, without anyone, then so that there are no people, so that we are alone with you personally.
The newsier talked with the wife of the missing pilot, and apparently, in her opinion, Pavel is really still alive.
I can help from my part in receiving me a picture.
Unfortunately, we cannot reveal what Iskander said to Lucia personally.
The only thing I can say is that this case is like this. This is how he draws a top secret for me, or something. Something like this was closed and everything was not opened.
I'm uncertain which of the 4 psychics will leave our project today. The jury will decide the fate of the contestant for whom this fight will end right before the final. It will be the most heartbreaking defeat, but such are the conditions of our battle.
Psychics are not evenly matched somewhere.
Better somewhere?
They are worse than strength, they are on the same level.
Did not display the result.
She had, well, as they say, we have professional activity.
The fate of the final of our project is in this black envelope.
I am certain that this is not Alexei Pad or...
It was a difficult decision.
Victoria's abilities increasingly shone.
Now you will find out who will have to leave our battle. Respected judges, we have gathered here today to make a crucial decision. We have to select 3 finalists who will compete for the title of the best among the 4. Unfortunately, today one of our contestants will leave the project.
If we talk about the tests that I carried out in all of them, including the last one, the best was Iskander. She pointed out the amazing details of the disappearance of the pilots. She immediately showed Africa the southern tip-on. The entire project in the most difficult, I emphasize, tests. Sulup turned out to be the best of all, although she had, well, as they say, refusals of professional activities. I think once she said she wasn't going to do the tests.
Faith, what did you think?
Overall, I thought it was the first time she was so exhausted.
But if we talk about my ordeal in general, no one but Victoria told me.
Victoria revealed who it was. She said it was a man, a loved one.
As the project progresses, she increasingly reveals her abilities and truly possesses them.
So we have 2 favorites who should not leave the battle. This is Victoria and Salu Iskander.
I heard it from you. Victoria is better, but in my test, neither one nor the other did well. I can say that 50-50 in my test. The most accurate was Medim. In second place was Fat, these 2 psychics. I don't know how they did it. But the fact is a fact. They described the ritual killing of monks and they described the man who owned the gun. This is President Yeltsin?
There are 2 more participants.
What about Alexei?
I completely agree with Sergei. Alexei and Mehdi have consistently demonstrated undeniable and pronounced psychic abilities.
We have 4 psychics, and 3 of them need to compete in the finale. We need to choose someone, but I am unsure who it will be that we need to eliminate from our project today.
I know for sure that this is not Alexei Fat or...
Why should we, in the end, opt to remove any of these 4 participants?
Psychics are unequal. They are better somewhere, worse somewhere, but now they are the strongest. They are now on the same level.
Maybe we can provide it. Decide who is the best on TV viewers' decision.
I'm for it.
Mikhail rightfully made the gesture. He expertly, one by one, in a perfect line.
Are you not implying that we have a situation akin to the Final 4?
Exactly. I am suggesting a top 4 showdown.
I fully support all 4.
So, it does not violate our regulations. We can retain all 4 participants and trust our audience entirely to determine the champion in our contest. Moreover, I bring favorable news for all 4 psychics. They are eagerly awaiting to meet me. Designated location at the arranged time. I want to tell you, the Board of Judges discussed the results and the possibilities of each of the 4 participating in the final for a very long time. It was a difficult decision. Counsel.
Hesitated for a long time.
So, the ultimate conclusion of our exceptional project is finally here. At this moment, you will discover who must exit our competition. And shortly, we will unveil the names of the psychics who will compete in the grand finale. The mysterious black envelope contains nothing. Dear friends, this means that I open another envelope. As we know, white yes, which contains the name of the best. I immediately open the white envelope, which is also empty. What do you think that could mean?
People's Court of Observers.
We were completely unable to make a decision. The best, and we're unable to choose a person who will leave our project for the first time in the battle of psychics. The best 4 strongest will fight. So all of you are in the final, and now each of you. Is there a chance to be a winner? The concluding decision rests with the viewers. It is they who must choose and determine which among the 4 will emerge as the winner of this psychic showdown, with the results being entirely unpredictable. The toughest challenges, the most astonishing tasks. Yet, the decisive victory belongs to whomever is selected among the 4, with you, dear viewers, having the final say. Tune in exactly 1 week from now at 8 p.m. on TNT, the grand finale.